Hi, I'm Dr. Whitten, and I've spent 30 years developing a system of healing. Sometimes I have original ideas, and other times I take other people's ideas and expand on it. This video is about the latter. Here I'm going to show you an old technique from the 1940s for diagnosing organ and organ system issues and show you how I've massively improved on it. In this video, I'm going to explain the system, and then I'm going to do a demonstration on a patient to show you how you would apply it in actual practice. This isn't an entertainment video. If you treat this video as like a free seminar for how to diagnose health issues, imagining that you've spent thousands of dollars on this seminar, you'll get a lot more value out of it. Of course, if you get a lot out of this video, hit the like button and subscribe. And we're creating a healthcare revolution, so hit the notification bell because we're going to be uploading a lot of amazing content. In the 1940s, there was a doctor named Reinhold Voll, late 40s, and he developed a system. He was a medical doctor for diagnosing organ issues using the acupuncture points. And he has a system that's mainly used by people who practice Electro-Acupuncture. So they have like a device, and it's kind of like a metal stylus, like a pen, and they put it at these points and measure the electrical resistance to electricity. And that's associated with how energy is flowing in particular acupuncture points or meridians. So they'll touch it to a point and they'll measure how much energy is flowing. And so for these points, you can diagnose lymph, and these points you diagnose lung and large intestine and the nervous system. And there's all these points, so it gives you a great window into how the different organs and organ systems are working. But since I do muscle testing, I've been evaluating the points obviously with muscle testing. I do something that's quite unique because there's different levels of issues. Like if you had an issue that you just developed last week, let's say you hurt your shoulder or you had an illness, it would be right on the surface. But if you hadn't had a problem for like 10 years, let's say you had mono, like Epstein-Barr virus 10, 15, 20 years ago, it could be like a dormant infection deep in the system. It wouldn't be on the surface. So one way that I check the different levels is I imagine that a person is like a body of water that's 100 feet deep. Okay, so if you find a problem on the, from 0 to 25 feet deep, the first quarter of depth, that's a more acute issue. And as you go further down, it's a more subtle issue or a more chronic issue. And so I just go Q1 for the first quarter, Q2, Q3, Q4, and to the core level. So this is how I can evaluate the body and the psyche at the different levels, because we all have different levels of our psyche as well as our physical body. So when I check these points, I'll check to see if it's strong or if there's any issues at Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So it's kind of like diving down the different levels of your mind and body. So let me demonstrate this for you, because it's hard to understand unless you see it. Great, so with the patient, there's points on the hand and the feet. Some for organs, some for organ systems. And so you just have them hold their hand strong, and with this hand you can muscle test like this, muscle test like that. So this is a point for the lymph, this is a point for the lung, this is a point for the large intestine, this is a point for the nerve. So let's take the nerves. We can just say, okay, Q1, there's no issue. Q2, as we're going down deeper into our system, Q3, no issue. We go Q4, there's an issue there. So as we go down, like I say, I view a person as a body of water that's 100 feet deep. So as we go down 75 to 80 feet, to 85 to 90 feet, we find an issue. Okay? So each of these points is kind of like a computer database. So each point contains issues or files of structural or chemical or emotional issues that are unresolved. So they're healing opportunities. So if we say this nervous system point, there's more than one issue, there's more than two issues. There's two issues here that need resolving, okay? So we could see, okay, so the primary issue is not a structural issue, it's not a chemical issue, it's not an emotional issue. Okay, so a nervous system issue, but it says it's primarily emotional. This is something completely different. With the Voll technique, they would take different herbs or different remedies, homeopathic or herbal remedies, to try to see what would correct the problem. But with this system, the way I've improved it, we give the body the choice, because it could be a pinched nerve, which could be a structural issue, okay, or an emotional issue or a spiritual issue. Okay, so this says there's an emotional issue, not a current emotional issue, not about the future, not about the recent past, not about childhood. Okay, so there's the primary issue, like we said, at the fourth quarter of depth, is really chronic, old, unresolved issues. So it's not from age 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, to 4, to 5, to age 6 or 7, something around that. Okay, so from here we accessed the data to find out where the stress on her nervous system is, okay? It says there's two issues here, but this is the first one. So what do we do with that information? Well, we want to find out where that stress is held in the body. Not in the first chakra, first to second, second to third chakra, third to fourth chakra. So it says the stress from age 6 to 7 is, so here's the third chakra, so it's not here. So we go age 6 to 7, age 6 to 7, right there, okay? Then what I would do is the techniques from the Whitten Method. If you're interested in learning the Whitten Method, I teach it as an online course, so if you're interested in learning more, contact us and we'll get you that information. But essentially, if she's holding stress in her body, it lives at a particular frequency. So I have lists of different phenomena. So it's not in list A, not in list B. What's in list B? Polarity, planets, locations, gems, metals, okay? So essentially what we're doing is we're finding out which modality has the right range of frequencies to cancel this old disturbance. So a metal, so it's not gold, not iron, not lead. Interesting. So it's saying lead has the right frequency to help clear it. Interesting that lead is how we deflect things. Like if you take an x-ray, you use lead to block negative energies from hitting you. Just kind of interesting. So we bring in the energy of lead right there, okay? And we just run that frequency. This is a little bit more advanced than I thought we were going to get into, but it's what her body asked for. Okay, so when you do energy work, the way you do it is you simply run the intention, the thought, the specific thought that's needed to help clear an issue. Okay, so is that complete? Yes, but she's still in strength. List A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So those are two modalities. F is the void, so it's pulling out negative energy from age 6. She just took a deep breath. If you paid real close attention, when you're clearing things, oftentimes the patient will just take a deep breath as some old energy is leaving. But it said list F and G. So list F is the void. List G is pure intelligence. Okay. So we ran that energy and now it's clear there. Okay, great. All right, so age 6 to 7 is clear. 3rd to 4th to 5th, 6th, 7th. Okay, so we go back to the nervous system point. Okay, and we go age 6 to 7. That's completely clear. So the whole 4th quarter of depth. And at the core of her being, there's still something at the core of her being Okay, it's not a structural issue. It's not a chemical issue. Okay, so there's some kind of chemical issue. How should we treat it? Okay, not with food. Yeah, it's not about adding a food or taking away a food, not with a specific supplement. Okay, so now I would find different supplements. So at the core level, if we say chemically at the core level, there's no issue. Okay, and then I could bring different supplements to see what's going to cancel that. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to clear all the different files that live in each of these points. So you can test each point and find out how healthy each point is. Like this point, we had to go to the fourth quarter, which is pretty subtle, about 90 feet down till we found the issue. So generally what you would do is you would treat the issues that you found more superficially. Like let's say we got to this heart point. Here's a point for the heart, Q1, 2, 3, 4, core, no issue. Small intestine, Q1, 2, Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay. So we find this one more superficially, so this would be a higher priority to work on. So we go down, so the third quarter is from 50 to 75 feet deep, so we go 50 to 55 to 60 feet deep. Okay, we find an issue, there's more than one issue here. Okay, so it's a bigger issue, but it's only one issue. What kind of issue? Not a structural issue, not a chemical issue. Okay. It's not about diet. True. It's not about some kind of supplement or nutrient she needs. Okay. So we'll go find some kind of supplement that balances her small intestine. Okay, so Melissa has MS. She's had it for about 3.5 years since her initial diagnosis. And one of the supplements she's been on is fiber. Fiber is a great fuel. It's a prebiotic for the gut flora. So a lot of autoimmune conditions are dysfunctions from the gut, in the gut flora. So, and obviously MS is a nervous system disorder, but it's triggered by an autoimmune issue. So it ties in with the immune system, the gut, as well as the nervous system. So we found an issue with the nervous system that was calling for nutrition, and then we also found nutrition needed by the small intestine. So at the third quarter we find an issue with the small intestine, and so this is a product, like I say, it's fiber, and she's been taking it daily. She's missed a few days. She hasn't taken it today, and so her body is complaining. So one thing you can do is you can see, you can put it on the body like that and then recheck. So we're at 3/4, okay, 4/4 core. So with this off her body, at the third quarter it goes weak. Okay, third quarter goes weak. Put this on her body, hold, and it's nice and strong. Third quarter, fourth quarter. We can also check the nervous system, fourth quarter to the core. So this resolves the nervous system as well. Like I say, the problem with the gut triggers the autoimmune issue that causes her MS. So we've been helping her for quite a while now, 3.5 years. She's not on any medications. Occasionally she gets a little minor symptom. About once a year she gets some significant symptoms, but it's getting better each year. We're learning how to treat it better and better. And so she's thriving. We go hike, she jogs, she does weights, and she's doing amazing. And you can do that naturally if you know how to diagnose imbalances. So this stuff isn't just fun and games, it changes people's lives. And so take the time to learn it if you're interested. So you can just prioritize the issue. Like I say, the things that you find more superficially or a higher priority, you treat those first. And you just kind of get the whole system working perfectly. and you can resolve some really deep health issues by doing that. So this gives you an idea of the level of thinking that goes into the Whitten method. I teach this as an online course, so if you're interested in learning that, just go to whittenmethod.com. The Voll Points are just one small aspect of the Whitten method, so if you're interested, check us out online, and we'll see you again soon.